If you've been living on a fixed income and wondering when some real help would finally show up, well, that moment may have just arrived. For the first time in years, the Social Security Administration has greenlit a change that isn't just a small cost of living adjustment. We're talking about a lifetime boost worth up to $5,130. This isn't a one-time check or a short-term patch. This is permanent. This is real. And this change, effective starting August 2025, will impact millions of Americans who rely on Social Security retirement, SSDI, or SSI benefits every single month. So what happened? After months of debate and increasing pressure from both advocacy groups and voters across the country, lawmakers and Social Security officials finally agreed that the standard COLA just wasn't cutting it anymore. People aren't just struggling, they're being left behind. Food costs are up. Prescription drugs are up. Rent? Way up. And while Social Security recipients got a COLA increase in January, it was barely enough to cover even the most basic monthly expenses. That's why this newly approved lifetime COLA enhancement is being called a game changer, especially for seniors and disabled Americans who've waited too long for meaningful support. If you're receiving Social Security, SSDI, or SSI, this could be the single biggest permanent increase you've ever seen. But here's the thing, not everyone will see the same boost, and the way it's being calculated is very specific. In this video, we're going to walk you through exactly who qualifies, how much more you could receive each month, how the $5,130 figure is determined, and what steps you can take right now to understand your updated benefit amount. Let's break it down, simply, honestly, and with zero fluff, because this news could seriously change your monthly income for life. Let's begin with what's actually changing. For decades now, Social Security's cost of living adjustment, what we all know as COLA, has been tied to inflation through a formula based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, also called CPI-E. Every year, that formula spits out a percentage that determines how much your monthly check goes up, or in some years, doesn't go up at all. But here's the problem. CPI-E doesn't really reflect the true cost of living for seniors and people with disabilities. It's outdated. It's based on the spending habits of younger, working people, not those who rely heavily on healthcare, prescriptions, and basic utilities. That means even when there's a COLA increase, it often falls short, way short, of covering what real people are actually spending to get by. That's where this new $5,130 lifetime boost comes in. After years of complaints, studies, and advocacy from organizations like AARP and the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, lawmakers have finally acknowledged that the formula used for COLA needs to change urgently. And now, it is changing. Starting in August 2025, a new inflation measure called CPI-E, the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, is going to be used instead. That means COLA increases will now be tied to what seniors actually spend money on. This new measure takes into account the rising cost of medications, home care, assisted living, groceries, and other essentials that eat up most of a retiree's check every month. It's a shift that's long overdue, and it's going to make a real difference. Now, let's break down what the $5,130 number really means. This figure isn't a one-time bonus. It's the estimated average increase in lifetime benefits that seniors, people with disabilities, and SSI recipients could see as a result of this change. Let's say, for example, you're receiving around $1,800 a month right now in Social Security. Under the old formula, your COLA might have gone up 2% or 3% a year, enough to give you maybe $30 to $50 extra per month. But under the new CPI-E-based calculation, some folks are projected to see increases closer to 5%, possibly even more in years when healthcare costs spike like they've been doing recently. That extra $80, $100, or even $150 per month adds up fast over time, especially when you factor in compounding over 10, 15, or 20 years. And that's how we get to this $5,130 lifetime estimate. It's based on what beneficiaries can now expect to gain long-term, simply by using a fairer and more accurate formula. The great part is, this new policy isn't something you need to apply for. You don't have to fill out a form or make a phone call. If you're currently receiving Social Security, SSDI, or SSI, your benefits will automatically adjust based on the new formula starting this August. The SSA will review your current payment, apply the CPI-E metrics, and recalculate your benefit. Most recipients will see the adjustment reflected in their regular payment cycles, either by direct deposit or via your Direct Express card. And yes, for those receiving paper checks, the adjusted amount will be included there too. This is happening across the board. That being said, while the boost is automatic, understanding your new amount isn't always simple. The SSA will issue letters to beneficiaries, typically about a month before the change takes effect, outlining how much more they'll be getting. These letters will look similar to the annual COLA notices you get at the start of the year, but this one is different. It marks a permanent shift in how your benefits grow over time. That's why it's so important to read it carefully. Don't toss it aside thinking it's just another standard update. And if you don't receive one, it's a good idea to log into your My Social Security account online and check your payment breakdown. That portal will give you a clear picture of what you're getting and why. Now let's talk a little bit about what this means beyond the dollar amount. For many Americans, especially those living on SSI or SSDI, this change isn't just financial, it's emotional. It's about dignity. It's about finally being seen by a system that for too long treated seniors like numbers in a formula instead of real people with real bills. For someone who's had to choose between paying the electric bill or picking up a prescription, an extra $100 or $150 a month isn't a luxury. It's the difference between stress and stability. This is especially true for individuals living with disabilities who already face higher expenses and often face barriers to employment or additional income. So yes, this COLA boost is monetary, but it's also symbolic of something bigger: recognition, fairness, and long overdue respect. Some people might still ask, can we really trust this is going to happen? After all, we've seen so many announcements, press releases, and statements before, many of which never seem to pan out. That's a fair concern. But what makes this different is that it's not just talk. It's already approved. The Social Security Administration has officially confirmed that it will begin using the CPI-E formula for future COLA increases starting in August 2025. This is locked in. The budgetary changes have been made, and the infrastructure is already being adapted. This isn't a maybe. This isn't waiting on a vote. It's happening. There are, however, still some unanswered questions, like how the change will affect spousal benefits, survivor benefits, and those who are dually enrolled in SSI and Medicaid. While we know the base benefit will rise for most, some programs have income thresholds, which could potentially be affected by an increase in Social Security income. For example, if your monthly income rises above a certain limit, you could technically see your SNAP or Medicaid eligibility change slightly. That's why it's important to not only monitor your Social Security letters, but also stay in touch with any other benefit programs you rely on. Many of those departments are also adjusting their guidelines to account for the new COLA method, but it never hurts to double-check to avoid surprises down the line. For veterans who also receive Social Security benefits, this could also mean double support. If your VA pension or disability benefit is combined with Social Security or SSDI, the COLA boost will only apply to the SSA portion, but that alone is still a significant win. And there are already conversations happening about whether the VA should adopt a similar formula change in future adjustments. So while this August is all about Social Security, the ripple effect could spread wider in the months to come. And let's not forget, this boost is coming at a time when Americans are facing one of the most expensive years in recent memory. Gas, food, healthcare, rent, all up. People are stretching every dollar, and it still isn't enough. So to finally see a policy that provides permanent, inflation-adjusted increases based on what seniors and disabled individuals actually spend, well, it's not just welcome, it's essential. It's long overdue. So as we get closer to August, here's what you need to do. Stay informed, stay alert, and check your mail and online SSA account often. Watch for the COLA adjustment letter and read it thoroughly. If you have questions, don't hesitate to contact your local Social Security office or use the online chat support from SSA.gov. This is your money, your benefits, and your right to know exactly what's changing. In a world where prices are up, pressure is high, and trust in the system is low, it's refreshing to finally report something solid, something that's been approved, funded, and ready to roll out. So if you've been waiting for a real change that lasts more than a few months, this is it. The $5,130 lifetime boost isn't just a number, it's a new foundation. It's the start of a better Social Security future. And it's happening now.